Hey, Shalom Israel. This is Ak Gadam with Awaken Israel. We're going to talk about a little something that most of us have heard before. Let's take a look at this little statement from a scripture. You have not because you ask not, or you ask amiss. So we want to figure out why. Why is that? And answer those questions. So when we're asking, this is alluding to us trying to ask the Most High for something and Him not giving it to us, and he's saying the reason is because we either don't ask at all or we're asking wrong. We're not asking. There's something wrong with the way that we're asking. And what is asking when we're talking to the Most High? That's prayer. So this whole thing is about unanswered prayers and why some of these prayers are unanswered, at least in some situations. And of course, it leaves us with this little stressful feeling of, why won't He answer me? I know I felt that way before. And again, these are just ways that we feel when that happens, like what's going on, that frustration that we feel when, we're not getting our prayers answered, when we feel like we're doing everything right, and most of the time, as we saw with the book of Job, we are not. And again, there's the attitude that many of us have, and some of us even get angry at the Most High because we're not getting what we want. So it's ridiculous stuff. So anyway, we're going to examine this and try to figure out what's going on. So let's start out by going to that scripture. The scripture is in James. So again, this is James 4:3. Ye ask and receive not, because ye ask amiss, that ye may consume it upon your lusts. So again, we got to figure out what this thing is. So again, we're either asking and we receive not, because we ask and we are asking wrong. There's something going on there. So what we need to do is get some context. We really have to understand that when we're reading and studying the Bible, especially the New Testament, the context for the New Testament is the Old Testament. You're not going to understand anything in the New Testament without understanding the context that's given in the Old Testament. It underpins everything. So typically, if we don't do that, which we get this a lot of times with Christianity, we're getting, you're reading an epistle, a letter, or the Gospels, and you're attributing your own meaning to it. You don't even realize you're doing that, but you're doing that because you don't know the context, so you don't even understand what it's actually saying or what it's alluding to. So what we're going to do just in this, we're going to go back a little bit just so we can understand that. But the major underpinning of the whole Bible is Yah and Yahushua and their relationship with the children of Israel, the nation of Israel, His chosen people, and the marriage between Yahushua and the marriage covenant between Yahushua and the children of Israel, which again is the covenant, the law, statutes and commandments, all of that stuff. It underpins everything. Underpins everything. So that's the context that most of us don't even realize. So anyway, we're going to go back to actually James 3 and 13, just to see what's going on here. Because believe it or not, this is all about treatment of our brothers and sisters, how we treat our brothers and sisters, and how we treat the Most High. We're going to see that. So James 3 and 13. Who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you? Let him show out of a good conversation his works with meekness of wisdom. So again, we're already seeing that this wise man is demonstrating meekness of wisdom, and of course he has knowledge too. But if you have bitter envying and strife in your hearts, glory not, and lie not against the truth. So we have bitterness and envying that are in strife that's entering the conversation now, and of course those things are not good. And again, this is a condition of the heart, because it says in your heart. These are things that are in your heart. So if this stuff is in your heart, then it's going to come out with your actions, with your prayers, which are going to be wrong in that situation. So again, we're getting to the root of some of our issues here. This wisdom descendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, and devilish. And again, the wisdom that it's talking about here is this bitter envying and strife in our hearts. And again, it's descending not from above, it's earthly and sensual and devilish, because that's who it comes from. It comes from the devil. And again, we think it's wisdom when it's actually a lustful, devilish emotion, which is not a good thing. For where envying and strife is, there is confusion and every evil work. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace of them that make peace. So it's showing the difference between the heart that has this bitter envying and strife that's in it, versus the wisdom from above, which is going to yield purity, peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy, good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. It's going to yield these things. It's going to yield peace. So we certainly must be paying attention to that. So now let's get to the actual scripture that we're talking about, which is in James chapter 4. So James 4:1. From whence come wars and fightings among you? Where do the wars and fightings come from? Like, why do we want to do that? We know we do this, we mistreat each other, and it does come down to wars and fighting sometimes, which is terrible. Come they not hence even from your lust that war in your members? So the source of all of these things, the source of all of these disputes is lust that we have in our heart, lust that we have in our mind. And lust doesn't always mean like a sexual lust. It can mean lust for power, lust for position, lust for many different things that yield, unfavorable thoughts and unfavorable gestures toward our people and even toward the Most High. Let's go forward to James 4:2. Ye lust and have not, ye kill and desire to have and cannot obtain it. Ye fight in war, yet ye have not, because ye ask not. So because lust is behind these things, we're having all of these evil actions. And then we had a nerve to pray and ask the Most High for something. He's not going to reward us when we're doing these different things. If you feel like you're being rewarded, then it's not coming from the Most High, it's coming from the enemy. Because the enemy is the one that's driving your lust. And here's the actual subject scripture, James 4:3. Ye ask and receive not, because ye ask amiss, that you may consume it upon your lust. So again, it's lust that is the root of your prayers. It's the lust that's the root of your request. And that is what is making your prayers amiss, because your prayers are, or our prayers that are he's not granting. And in this situation, they're based upon our lust. They're not based upon him. They're not based upon his principles or anything like that. And it's not based upon serving our brothers and sisters or serving him. It's based on serving our own selfish lusts that are creating a whole bunch of strife and other things within ourselves, our families, our communities. It's just not a good thing. Let's keep it moving. So, ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is an enemy to Yah. So again, we're talking about the basis being the relationship between the Most High and Israel, and Yahushua and Israel. Why is he saying adulterers and adulteresses? It's because it's a marriage covenant. So when we are acting on our lust, we're not acting and mistreating him and mistreating our brothers and sisters. We're going against the law. We're breaking that marriage covenant. If we're breaking that marriage covenant, we are cheating on Yahushua. We're going against him. We're breaking the marriage. So that's making us adulterers and adulteresses, because again, this is based, if you understand the context, the base of the context is a marriage covenant. So this is why a lot of times you'll see marital terms used when Yahushua is speaking with us. Do you think that the scripture said in vain, the spirit that dwelleth in us lusteth to envy? And again, we're always fighting against our flesh. The spirit and the flesh battle, as we know. So there's always a lust that we're a lust. And again, it doesn't always mean a sexual lust, but a lust of some sort that we're battling. That's that battle between the flesh and the spirit. And we need to be focusing more on our spiritual walk and being aligned with, Yah and Yahushua. And again, if we do that, then we'll get back into the good graces of the Most High. So this is what we need to do. But he giveth more grace. Wherefore, if he saith, Yah resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble. We need to humble ourselves down to get rid of that selfish pride. Submit yourselves, therefore, to Yah. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. We have to resist the devil because it's the enemy that's behind the lust that we feel. And that lust is driving us to do things that are against the Most High, against our brothers and sisters. So we have to submit ourselves to Yah and Yahushua and the covenant, which is the law, statutes, and commandments. It goes back to that. It goes right back to it. That's how we make sure that we are not being adulterers and adulteresses. Draw nigh to Yah, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. And again, sin is the transgression of the law, statutes, and commandments. The law, statutes, and commandments are the covenant. They are the covenant. So again, that's another thing that's alluding to the marriage covenant between Israel and Yahushua. So we have to get all of this carnality out of our mind and go back to Yah and Yahushua, so we could be on the right foot and be aligned with them. That's the secret. We have to be aligned with them, not focused on our own lusts and the things that we want. So again, if we understand that is underpinning everything, the covenant, the law, statutes, and commandments is underpinning everything. If we are focused on that, and that is what's in our hearts, then naturally our prayers and our mentality, the things we say out of our mouth, the wisdom that we give, all of these different things are going to be more aligned with Yah and Yahushua, not with the enemy and his lust that he wants to plant in us all the time. And if we want to see an example of a prayer that Yah finds acceptable, let's take a look at a prayer that Solomon gave. This is in 1 Kings. So we'll look at 1 Kings 3 and 5. In Gibeon, the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream by night, and God said, "Ask what I shall give thee." So he's like, "Hey, ask me whatever you want." And Solomon said, "Thou hast showed unto thy servant David, my father, great mercy, according as he walked before thee in truth and in righteousness." So again, that mercy was because he was right. He was walking before the Most High in truth and in righteousness. That's according to the will of the Most High and according to those law, statutes, and commandments, and in uprightness of heart with thee, and thou in heart. So it all syncs up. And thou hast kept for him this great kindness, that thou hast given him a son to sit on his throne, as it is this day. And now, O Lord my God, thou hast made thy servant king instead of David my father, and I am but a little child, and I know not how to go out or come in. And thy servant is in the midst of thy people, which thou hast chosen, a great people that cannot be numbered nor counted for multitude. So he's talking about what's important to the Most High. Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this, thy so great a people? So again, he's focusing back on what's important to the Most High. He's not focusing on, where will most of our hearts go, especially in this modern time. It's going to go to like some selfishness or something. Who knows? With a lot of people, it might be something carnal. It might be something where we're trying to take out an enemy or something like that. Not often enough is it focused on the Most High and the things that he says that he wants in his word. We take it right back to us. It's the same thing that we do when we misinterpret his word and try to put things in our terms as opposed to using the context that is in his word. So we have to be mindful of that. And if we look at Solomon, his focus is on doing right by the Most High's people, which is the most important thing to the Most High. It's the most important thing to Yahushua. And let's see what the Most High answered. And the speech pleased the Lord. Now Solomon had asked this thing, and Yah said unto him, because thou hast asked this thing, and has not asked for thyself long life, neither has asked riches for thyself, nor has asked the life of thine enemies, but has asked for thyself understanding to discern judgment. So he said, you didn't go selfish. You didn't ask for anything selfish. You didn't focus on those things. You focused on what's important to me, what's important to, Yahushua. He's very happy with that. Behold, I have done according to thy words. Lo, I have given thee a wise and an understanding heart, so that there was none like thee before thee, neither after thee shall any arise like unto thee. And I have also given thee that which thou hast not asked, both riches and honor, so that there shall not be any among the kings like unto thee all thy days. And if thou wilt walk in my ways, that's again, going back to the covenant, the law, statutes, and commandments, and having faith in the Most High and in Yahushua, to keep my statutes and my commandments, law, statutes, and commandments, as thy father David did walk, then I will lengthen thy days. So he's even saying, I'm going to keep you alive longer, but it's based on his obedience and staying aligned with Yahushua in that covenant, which again is the context for everything. So he was satisfied with that because his heart was aligned with Yah and Yahushua and what they want. So if we don't want our prayers to be amiss, or our requests to be amiss, we need to align ourselves down to our heart. The root of us needs to be aligned with the Most High and Yahushua, and that way, when we're aligned and submitted to them, we'll be good to go. We'll get the enemy out of our hearts and out of our minds, and we'll be focused correctly. So with that, Israel, hopefully that helps out with that question or with that understanding, and let's move on. Shalom.